big fish over here. I thought it was snagged. I turned around to get the snag. But it's definitely not a snag. It's just a run-in. This is the biggest fish of my life. I can't lose this fish. Nice fish though. My second biggest of all time. It might be just as big. The big lakes, you get big views, big sunsets, deep water, big fish. Okay, we're back. I know I said I wouldn't be camping for a while, but I got a good weather break. Yeah, I need to figure out if we're able to get from one big lake to another big lake. On the map it says that you can do it, but the one thing I know about this big lake that we're coming to is you can't trust our map because the property is all privately owned. And Logan and I have a long trip planned for this fall, and it's kind of dependent on the route we want to do if we can make it from this lake to the other lake. So it's pretty, the distance is pretty far. It's going to be a long paddle, but the weathers are nice. But the weather's nice. It's going to be like low 70s during the day, low 50s at night, and hardly any wind. And that's pretty ideal for summer. So let's get this started. We've been paddling for about an hour now. That's something I'm used to dealing with when I'm camping, is jet skis and boats. It's interesting. We got a fish. Oh no, I think he shook off. Oh, it was 100% a fish. I totally went the wrong way. Rough paddling on these big lakes. It's easy to get turned around a little bit. Sometimes islands look like the shore, and the big peninsula looks like the end of the lake or whatever. Last time I was here, this was all covered in ice, so it didn't look really familiar to me at all. Paddling back out to get to the main part of the lake, and it shouldn't be too long before we're at the campsite. Just a short detour. We got a big fish on right now. We gotta be careful around this thing. I thought it was snagged. I turned around to get the snag. But it's definitely not a snag. It's a big pike. Or a big lake trout. It's just running. was the biggest runs I've ever had on the rod. This is a big fish. It's a huge pike. This is the biggest fish in my life. I can't lose this fish. This is a big fish. It's not easy landing a fish like this, guys, in a boat like this. Whoa. I'll try and get a measurement on him. Look at that thing. That's about 40 inch. So, alright, we're gonna let him go. That was a big fish. That was the biggest fight of my life. My measurement tape is 21 inches and it was double it, at least. It was a 40 plus, I think. It's hard to get an exact measurement the way I got a tape running across my front port. Like I said, it's 21 inches. But he was really heavy and big, so it's hard to get a really good accurate measurement on him. I'm pulling up to the campsite right now, ready to get unloaded, and then go check out that passageway. It was really difficult getting the boat up on the shore because it's really rocky and slippery, and boats are going by pushing wakes up onto the shore. I'm beat. The fire pit is trashed. Alright, I'm gonna get set up here and then we'll get back on the water. We'll go check that passageway to the other lake and see if we can catch another monster. That fish was huge. It was the biggest fish I've ever caught by a good amount. We got the tent kind of set up. I haven't staked it down yet because I might move it. It's super close to the fire pit, but there's hardly any wind now, and it's going to be even less tonight. Here's the crappy chair that I bought at the hardware store because I forgot my chair. That's all right. This thing was like $17. Throw it in the car, and I'll leave it in the car from now on in case I forget it. But we're off on this point. Pretty nice. We caught that fish right over there, right before we got here. Already located some firewood. We're gonna have a small fire tonight just for a little while. We don't need one, it's warm, but we'll do it. We're back at the boat. We're backtracking right over where we caught that big pike. You know what's crazy is I caught the biggest fish of my life, but I'm still upset about the one I lost halfway down the lake. You might have been able to tell by now I'm alone on this one. Morgan could not come again. But we will be back together next month for fall camping and winter camping. I hope I'm going the right way right now. Going anywhere from point A to point B on a lake this big when you're paddling the wood shore. It's hard work, it's far. And I don't have a map. I tried to have Logan send me a picture of the paddler's map for this lake, but it won't go through. My paddler's map is at his house. But I've been here before, I kind of remember where it is. So, I hope I'm right. People are nice enough to put up a sign so we don't got to go the wrong way. That's awesome. Let's walk it. Alright. This is the road to get up there. And then up ahead, it's gonna cut off and go down a dirt trail. Probably the whole thing is about a mile. It's not bad. All right, I'm glad I found this. The mission accomplished. Let's get back in the water. Oh, I got the whole route down. We're good. It's time to go back to camp, fish all the way back. And I think I'm gonna chill for the night. We'll get up early and pack up and slowly make our way down the lake and fish all the way back. We got another fish. I saw this one. I saw him on the sonar the whole way. It's one of those things where you're trolling and you see the mark and then you know how much line you got out and you're just waiting for the bite. Oh, it's a smallie, I think. I'll take a smallie. Nice smallie. $16. Not a monster, but it's a nice fish. Nice. Just watching him go down on the sonar. That was pretty cool. He's just sitting on the bottom right below me. Just sitting there. Now he's coming up. Do some shore fishing maybe. Fire's ready for tonight. Built this little makeshift fire pit in front because the fire pit is just, it's not even usable. But this is a really nice one right here, much better. That'll take one little light of the lighter and that'll go up nice. Got a small wood pile, it's all we need for tonight. We're not cooking with a fire or anything, just for sitting around. Got our tools over here. Gowa Canyon Boreal 21, best saw ever. Haltsbrook Aka forest axe. Belt knife I made. My gloves. We'll wait till the sun to go down a little bit more. Maybe we'll go out and do some evening fishing. Come in, light a fire, sit around the fire, and go to bed. I just heard something big walking around back here behind my campsite. I heard a big branch break and something moving. Hopefully it's just a deer or even a moose. Alright. So I don't know if you can see the camera. There's water kind of all around me. It all funnels right to the point where my campsite is. So if anything comes around the camp, I'll hear it. Make some noise. I'm not too worried about it. I've said it before, I'm much more worried about a tree falling on me than I am a predator messing with me. I'd love to see a moose back here though. I've only seen one moose all the time I've been camping. Just kind of sitting here on this point, waiting for the sun to go down, relaxing. It's crazy because usually we're in the wilderness and we're secluded and there's no motorboats allowed and there's no houses. It's just wilderness. But here there's camps and houses and there's people water skiing and jet skiing and tubing. So I'm just kind of watching them go by and have fun with the kids and stuff. When we come back here next, all the people will be out of their camps. It'll be late, probably early November. Nobody will be here. It'll feel more like wilderness with some empty houses. But for now it's alright. This is what it looks like here. Smaller. Got another fish. This one feels a little better. I actually hope it's a smallie, not a pike, because yeah, it's a smallie. That thing's jumping like crazy. It just jumped like 2 feet out of the water. Oh, I think it's a nice one too. I wish that was on camera. It just jumped a foot and a half out of the water right next to me. Net this one. He's crazy. This is a big fish. This is a big bass. Oh, it's not that big. I thought it was bigger. 17 and a half. Nice fish though. Let this guy go. And he destroyed the paddle tail. It's alright. It was worth it. Go with this guy. I'm calling it a night for fishing. Pretty good. Got a couple smallies, running real nice. I'm happy with that. Just trolling in the camp is pretty close. Get a fire going. Pick up a little dinner. And then hit the bed. We're cooking up some dinner. Got some water boiling on the stove. I don't feel like putting my pot in the fire, getting it all nasty. And I just got a little noodle bowl, some Thai peanut sauce. Nothing fancy for this trip. I bought this at the grocery store. Be just fine for tonight. Go down and check out the water's edge. It would be a really good sunset if it wasn't so cloudy. You can still see some nice red sky, but if there was like a little bit less, pond hopping's awesome, but big lake camping is awesome too. A lot of people think it's pretty boring to go on a big lake and base camp, move around the same body of water, but the big lakes, you get big views, big sunsets, deep water, big fish. I'm really excited about doing that trip that I scouted for today, because we're going to be pond hopping for the first half and then big lake paddling for the second half, covering a lot of area. I'm psyched. Got a few months for that. It's a little after 10 o'clock. Just gonna burn this fire down a little bit more and then hit the hay. Hopefully we'll get up early, get packed up, and fish our way out of here. Probably got a 3-hour paddle back. Shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully we catch some fish. We slept pretty good. I had to get up like 4 times to pee though. That was rough. But once we got to sleep, it was good. Gonna get packed up. I'm gonna make some coffee, eat a banana, a couple of Cliff Bars. We'll get on the water. Let's go instant coffee this morning. I've never had this before in the woods. My buddy said it's pretty good, so I'm gonna give it a try. Actually cooled off last night, so I had to put on a long sleeve top to sleep in, which is pretty nice. I prefer that. Curious to see how this instant coffee is. I used to always bring a coffee press with me in the woods, and I stopped doing that. I got that little drip coffee maker because it was smaller and lighter, but it's not as good. I'm gonna go back to, I'm gonna get another press. I'm gonna get a nice stainless steel one, I think, because press coffee is better. Hope we catch some fish in the paddle back. We have a long paddle. Luckily there's no wind. I don't want to leave too early, but I also want to get on the water before it gets hot. And the fishing's better in the morning. I think it's like a little after 6 right now. It's not bad. Definitely the best instant coffee I've ever had. It's just Starbucks Pike's Place. Well, it does the trick. Got the tent all packed up. I'm just going to pack my bag up, get out of here. And once I pack my bag, you will not even know I was ever here. Loading the boat in and out of the water in these rocky, slippery lakes is not easy. Because of this boat, you can't just set it on the rocks. So, please don't fall in the water. That would be bad. Success. And you don't want your boat to float away from you like that. I've done that enough this year. No more boat floating away. Alright, here's where it gets tricky. Yes. off. Hope I didn't forget anything. Let's keep fishing. I think I've seen that pike I caught twice on the sonar. He's still in the same area I caught him, and it's got to be him because I see other marks on the sonar and they're like small, and then that thing looks like a whale amongst them. It's got to be the same fish. I mean, maybe it's not, but it's right where I let it go. I've seen it twice there after I caught it. I think this must be his territory. If they're territorial like that, I don't know. But it's a giant, giant mark. There's a lot of fish on the bottom right now, and we're not getting a bite. You might get bit here in like 20 seconds. Come on. Nope. Should have got up earlier. I got a fish. It's small, I think, but it's a fish.
Well, I'll let you reel that sucker in, bro.
All right, dude.
All right, man. Later, brother.
Later, man. I got a fish as I was talking to Logan. This one's small, I think. If it's even there anymore, I think it might have shook off. Yeah, it's gone. It's pretty cool to hear from Logan. I'm sure he wishes he was here. He'll be out soon. He's gonna try and get a solo trip in before fall. And I said it before, but I think this is my last one till fall. Like I said, this was pretty much just a scouting mission to find that route. And yeah, mission accomplished. Get out, do some hiking and some fishing around the house. Is that something you'd want to see? Or just canoe trips? Let me know. We got some pretty good hiking spots, some pretty good fishing spots around the house. We got a Nida Lake, famous for bass fishing and walleye fishing. We got the Finger Lakes. And looks like we got a fish. I don't think it's very big. Probably a medium-sized smallmouth. It's got some good head shakes there. Might be better, I think. Oh, I think it got off. Alright, shake it off. We lost three fish on this trip. Definite fish fighting, pulling. Between messing with the camera and moving the paddle around. Sometimes lose tension on the rod. That's okay. I would like to get a fish before I leave here though, and the paddle's almost over. Maybe we'll stay until we get a fish. Alright, now we got a fish and it's a good one. Feels like a pike. Yep, it's a pike. It's a nice one too. Yeah, it's a big pike. I'm gonna have to let him get tired out. I don't think it's quite as big as the other one, but it's definitely big. It's my second biggest of all time. Oh, it might be just as big. The nice thing about fishing in a boat like this is it acts like a secondary drag, because the fish will take the drag, but it'll pull the boat too. You done? Nope. You're not done. He's heading down. That's a beautiful fish. Come here, bud. Oh, not yet. He's hooked pretty good. Oh, not that bad. That's another big fish. That's about he's about 36, I'd say. Let's let him go. As slow as we gained its strength and took off. Just as that fish bit, I was heading over to pick up some trash floating in the lake. And just by luck, I moved around pretty good. I came right across the same bottle that's sitting here. So we get this trash out of here. Pack that out. Say thank you for the fish. It's really important to know how to tie a good knot, combining your braid and your fluorocarbon leader. That was the same leader for both of those big pike, and it held up good. I use the Alberto knot. For me, it's easy to tie in the boat. It's pretty small, and it's super strong. I've never had it fail me. If you tie it wrong, just when you test it, it'll come apart. If you test it and it stays solid, then it'll be good. We're at the end of the big lake. Logan says I catch a lot of last minute fish. And I think I do. It's awesome. So we got to head down this big channel, this big bay. We got another lake and 2 river paddles, and we'll be back to the car. It was a good trip. Caught some good fish. My biggest and second biggest pike I've ever caught. Well, maybe not. Second pike might have been as big as one of the ones I caught last fall. I'll have to compare in the photos. We picked up a little bird. Oh, yeah. Just a little baby perch. We just got this little section of river to go here, and then we're back to the car. Pretty good trip. Accomplished everything I wanted to do. Got my personal best pike. Personal best fish of any kind. So it was good. That is a wrap.